Hello, my loves. How are you? Today, we're going to dive into some messages around this stream of energy with the divine sacred feminines going through the next levels of their ascension process. There's been a very deep stream of energy that I'm picking up on, specifically connected, especially with the sacral chakra, the healing of the sexual energies, and any past abuses or trauma, and how it's interconnected with the throat chakra and stepping into speaking and owning and living our truth as sacred feminines. This feels like a stream that's, yes, connected to this life and this current time, but it's also a stream of ancestral energy through our sacred feminine lines, as well as potentially any other lives or any other dimensional experiences. So this feels like a very, very deep pocket that we are in. It feels exceedingly collective, especially based on the response from my most recent video yesterday with Divine Feminine being ready to ascend. And this has been a repeating, recurring theme throughout this week in almost every single session that I've been a part of, and also things I'm experiencing in multiple conversations with feminines outside of even just the channel here. So, this appears to be a very big pocket that we are moving through, a very exciting one at that. So, I want to bring through messages more deeply around that, but also I will be coming out with some form of a support as soon as I get the green light on that. Okay, loves. So, some of the things I want to talk about, some of the physical symptoms that may be coming up with this. Of course, as always, you care for yourself in the physical world, whatever way is necessary. I talk about the energies here and maybe some of the emotional parts of it. But in the sacral chakra, some of the energies that are coming up is a lot of frozen energy is coming up to thaw out. And with these more deeply frozen energies that can, yes, be from this life, ancestral, but also very ancient energies, it seems to be sort of this slower thawing because it is so much information that is being thought out. But this is beautiful because, again, we're strong enough to be able to do this portion of it. And so know that we're working all together as sacred divine feminine energies and that you're not alone. Okay, loves, we're doing this together. And so you may be feeling some physical symptoms connected with this. We've been talking about the birthing energies or feeling like going through a birthing process, but also this detoxing energy or a clearing energy that can sometimes also equate to or feel like a form of a birthing process as well. There are energies of feeling sort of inflamed or bloated, and just energies in the sacral and root chakra area where these energies are sort of coming up. You may even notice that you feel these and then the symptoms subside and then they seem to almost come out of nowhere again. And it may be like these quick successions of feeling restabilized into your energy. And then another wave is coming up, thawing out to clear. I'm acknowledging this for you. Like I said, of course, please support yourself physically. It is very important. Whatever you feel guided to do to get yourself support to assist the physical body in processing these energies, it's important. And then with it also some emotional energies of feeling um like we talked about in yesterday's video, sort of this unsatisfied, dissatisfied energy, some sadness, some depression, some anxieties, almost some energies of feeling frazzled. Or again, you might feel very centered 1 minute and then almost like a whole old version of yourself is coming up to shift. Okay. This seems to be happening for a few reasons. One, again, like I spoke about in the most recent video, we're literally birthing the new version of ourselves. And so the old versions are sort of completing out. So some of those old patterns might be coming up uncomfortably, even intensely. But I'm going to ask you when the emotional part comes up or the anxieties to just sit with yourself, hold space for yourself, do whatever you need to do to allow the results of what you've been doing to drop into those old areas. Okay. It's not that you're going backwards. What's happening is those parts are opening up so that you can drop in the results, but also retrieve those portions of your energy and update and upgrade them to where you are now. Okay, loves. There's another part of this, like I spoke about, connected with a stream of energy around past potential sexual traumas and abuses, but also physical and emotional abuses. And these are also coming up to clear out because the sacred divine feminine collective is really so deeply no longer participating in those patterns or preparing to no longer participate in those types of patterns. And so, as we're dropping deeper into our energies, into those unconditionally loving ways of unity consciousness, we're dropping into these areas where we may have been abused in the past or agreed to look the other way or dissociated because it was the only way that we could survive. Okay. Because this was a very, very realistic thing for many feminines in this life, potentially, but also throughout the ancestral energies. I mean, there was a literal time where a feminine could not survive on this planet without a masculine to provide for her. It was just the dynamics of how things were, right? Even just a few generations ago, many of our grandmothers and great grandmothers were not even able to buy a home on their own or to even get a job. There was a position where they had to be in the role of being a wife and a caretaker. That is not that long ago. We're talking about less than 100 years ago. Okay, loves, this is very much more recent patterns that we are moving through, but those patterns can very much still be in our DNA and in our ancestral memory fields. Last night, I had this experience while working on some of this in my own system. I literally could hear the voices of the ancestors in my cells, in my DNA. And I just held space for that to process and asking to share the results of where we are now, not only into my system and to my results, but also with the ancestral feminines, especially right now. But yes, of course, this pertains to the masculines as well. Whatever is happening for the feminines right now is also happening for the planet. And as the feminines step into their true form, right, their embodied form in this ascension process, this supports that dynamic for humanity to step forward into their true power and true embodiment as a soul, as a human, in all of those parts of us, embracing all of the aspects of who we actually are. All of our potential, all of our activated DNA, us in our true form is what we are in the process of embodying. And so, in that process, these energies are coming up to be honored, cleared, and then the new and true essences of our souls to be embodied into the cells. Okay. And so if you're experiencing any of this, I just want to acknowledge and honor it and express to you that this is part of that transformational process. And yes, you have been doing your thing, and there has been a lot of healing and a lot of work that's being done. And like in yesterday's video, we're also being called to couple this intensity with intending to, enacting and embodying more energy of joy and playfulness. Okay. It also feels important that if you're not in those places right now, that is okay. Again, it starts with that intention. Okay. You're setting that intention of where you want to be and what you want to embody, and you start to create the space to allow that to come in. And sometimes when you've set that intention for what you want, it brings up other things to be cleared out to make space for what it is that you're wanting to create. So, whatever happens for you, once you set an intention, trust the process, trust whatever is coming up for you, because even if it doesn't look like what you're asking for in that exact moment, know that it is actually the process of creating space to get you to where you're asking to be. Okay, loves? What's happening is you're beginning the process of preparing to receive what you've been asking for. Okay. And it feels important to acknowledge that. I also want to talk deeper about the stream and those of you who have connected with me here on some of those ancient linear or those ancient streams of energy connected with Avalon or Atlantis and Lemuria or any of those types of streams connected with the divine sacred feminines that were siphoned from and used and abused in the area of their creation and sexual centers where they were used and experimented on in those birthing processes, or used the creation energy to bring other things or manifest other things into fruition. But there was a stream of feminines that were actually physically used as those vessels. And that is coming up to clear and heal and complete out in a much deeper way. So it felt very important to touch on that in case some of you are experiencing another deeper layer of that transmutation. Okay, loves. And there are a few videos for those of you that might be new connected with those streams, and they should be on a playlist. If I can find those, I will drop those in the description box for you as well. Okay. Or the pin comment is usually easier to discover. Okay. So with that, I am going to pull some cards to bring in some specific supports a little bit deeper for this part of the collective, for whatever we are in the process of transmuting and very beautifully embodying into as we go through this next level of recalibration. But I also wanted to let you know super fast that I have been working most recently connected with this stream of feminines. I'm working with the energies and essences of a twin flame divine counterpart, masculine, feminine pair that are more deeply recalibrating in the physical world, the material, physical world energies, and no longer bypassing in their extreme positions. They're recalibrating more into those internal and external union energies. So I will share that over in the community tab and in the pinned comment for you. I have a few more videos that are already pre-recorded with that stream because it's actually coming in very, very quickly. And I'm sure there's some of you sacred feminines that are going through this next levels of your ascension process that may also resonate with that divine counterpart stream. So it will be there if you're guided. All right, so let's get some messages for the feminines going through this next levels of her ascension and see what would like to come through. Wow. Okay. These are some cards that recently came up, I believe, in those stream on Patreon. So let's see what we got. Okay. Wow. So the first two cards were the Fates and the Root Girl, the Disowned Self. Wow. Okay. So This feels to me, when we're talking about this specific stream that we're connecting with the feminines, this is specifically where the sacred feminines have been used and abused. I want to acknowledge that on the energetic streams, the masculines have also experienced their own levels of use and abuse. This is not saying that this is only one-sided. That has definitely been a reciprocal experience, but in a different way. And this is very specific more to the feminine essences because of the way the feminines birth the energies very much through their physical bodies, and where the parts of the feminines, this is what's coming through, is where the feminines had to dissociate, freeze, wall off, even at times totally freeze their own fertility and creation energies to survive. What I'm sensing is that there's this stream where, as the feminines are coming back online and ascending, they're having to thaw these parts out and retrieve those portions that they once, what I'm picking up on is that the feminines actually froze this knowingly. They shut it down knowingly because it was almost the only way to stop the abuse, to stop the experimentation. Okay. And so this specific portion is wanting and ready to open back up, but there is very much a lot of emotion. There may even be some energies of fear or wanting to stay closed down, even for those of you who are very comfortable with facing your shadows and taking things head on. You may have some fears or discomforts that come up very strongly around this subject. This is the part I believe that I want, or I will be guided to bring some specific support in for you, but I'm going to allow that to unfold. If in the meantime you want to check out the I'll just share my recorded sessions in the pinned comment as well in case you want to check those out. We'll just keep it simple like that. You'll know if it resonates. Um, but very much apologies for that. I didn't know my ringer was on. But ding, there's our confirmation, right? Okay. But this is recalibrating. It's like the extremes, like the fate, the divine alignment, the true higher alignment, and then where we're wanting to drop the results in. And it's very necessary for us to retrieve and support this part of ourself so that we can fully receive that highest alignment all the way into the roots. Okay. And so this is speaking deeply of spending more time, care, nurturing, and attention on the root, on the sacral. And of course, as I said, even into those higher chakras, into the throat, the heart, wherever you're called, of course, by all means. But this feels definitely significant. And with this, we have the setting boundaries card, the threshold of protection and honor. So this is where we're dropping in the energetic boundaries and protection energies into those areas that we froze off, the way that we have learned our natural energies, our natural boundaries, our natural protection is us embodying into our truth. And so, as we allow that energy to drop all the way into these areas, even the parts that we may have had to disown or distort or dissociate away from in order to survive, as we bring those strong sacred energies and boundaries and essences back to our own energetic systems, it allows us to realign with the fates, with the true alignment, my loves. Okay. Because what this process is doing is it's allowing you to restore your essences, your true energy and essences as a conscious creator, as a sacred divine feminine essence, okay, and energy and embodiment of those divine feminine energies. I'm also going to get a few tarot just to break it down into the very physical world, day-to-day energies. Let's see what we got. Right out of the gate, we have the Emperor and the Magician. This feels to me, this magician right now is coming in for both the sacred feminines and sacred masculines. It's where the feminines are working down into the roots, where they are clearing and nourishing the creation center through this process, nourishing this energy with her own essence. So she is in a pure receptive energy to be able to receive the energy of her divine and sacred masculine counterpart. Okay. Yes, it starts with working with these internal energies, right, of that embodiment of your sacred feminine in a safe way. What I'm receiving with this, for those of you that feel called, is in the higher energies or in the physical, whichever way works for you, if this feels aligned, to very much call in the connection and the support of your divine sacred masculine counterpart in his highest form as well. Okay. This is also supporting those higher energies. And it's coming through that when it's done in a way that is simply asking for that highest alignment of your sacred feminine and sacred masculine essences, it will allow you to drop into the receptive energies of receiving the support from the highest version of your divine sacred masculine counterpart throughout the stream. So that's what's coming through, is like throughout all the dimensions, all the way down into the earth. Okay. So this is also coming through in a deeper layer as you're allowing yourself to receive the support of the divine masculine energy throughout your stream. That is another part of you that has at some points felt disowned, but you are welcoming that back home into your roots, into your earth star connection, and allowing that recalibration to happen in the energetic field. And again, this is aligned and it'll occur naturally when you are coming from that unconditionally loving state of union and union consciousness. And when you're doing it in that energy, it will just happen naturally in the energetic fields. The energies of the masculine and feminine will naturally reharmonize as it's in alignment. You're just simply stating that, and you're requesting that you are ready for that recalibration and that you are ready to receive those supports. Okay, loves? This feels exceedingly important with this part of allowing yourself to receive as you're thawing out those parts of you that were once frozen. All right, loves. Wow, this feels big. It definitely feels like I'll be back on with some more of this. Again, this is speaking to me and connecting more deeply with that stream over on Patreon, and very clearly confirming that as the feminine collective embodies more deeply into her essences, it is most certainly realigning the energies with the masculine collective. All right, my loves, beautiful work. I hope this was helpful. Of course, I would love to hear from you and keep this conversation going. Let me know how you're doing, what has been supporting you, what's been working for you, and know that you're supported and loved, my doves here. All right, we'll talk soon. Take care. Have a beautiful rest of your day.